If Kade Mercer had known that offering a half-dead alien woman a breath of oxygen would legally bind him as her cosmic mate, he would have at least brushed his damn teeth first, but here he was, in the burning red sands, a vast blaster raised with military precision, while the violet-skinned bombshell sprawled before him blinked up like she had just awakened from the world's sexiest nap. Kade was trained for alien combat, survival operations, political hostage recovery, and making instant noodles in zero gravity, not whatever this situation was. The woman no. Alien arched her back subtly, her voice breathy as she whispered, Are you the one who shared your life fare with me? Her accent rolled like warm honey over a vibroblade. Technically, Kade said, trying not to stare at curves that clearly violated at least 7 military dress codes. I just kept you from dying in the desert. To my people, she said, her lips forming a smile so soft it felt like temptation itself. That means you have chosen me. Kade blinked. Chosen you for what? She looked at him like he was an adorable idiot. For mating, obviously. He nearly dropped his gun. Lady, I just gave you oxygen. That is how a soul claim begins. She replied sweetly. Does your planet not have? I don't know. First dates? We do. The sharing of life air is the first date. Kade mentally cursed every interspecies negotiation manual that had failed to prepare him for this exact scenario. She slowly rose into a sitting position, her glimmering metallic bikini top catching the twin suns. She did not seem to care that she looked like an ad for Hot Aliens Monthly, and even if the video was meant to be faceless, the entire scene radiated chaotic sensuality. He tried to look at her eyes. He really did. He failed. All right, he said, clearing his throat. Let's slow down. What's your name? Zyra Veltali of the Third Lunar House. Her smile widened mischievously. But now that you breathed life into me, you may call me beloved. Yeah, no, Kade said. That's not happening. She tilted her head. Is this human custom? Rejecting your mate immediately. Very charming, very primal. It's not time not look. You're misunderstanding something. She scooted closer, like, much closer. Kade pulled his blaster up again instinctively. Whoa, personal space. Zyra blinked innocently. Is this where you perform the dominant display? My research suggests humans enjoy dramatic power stances. My research, Kade muttered, suggests I'm losing my damn mind. Her eyes glowed faintly lavender. Your heart rate is elevated. Yeah, he said, because you're nevermind. You are flustered, she purred. No, tactical awareness. Situational caution. Tactical arousal. It's not okay. You know what? Next topic. She giggled, her voice musical in the dry desert air. Human denial is adorable. Kade wished the sand would swallow him, but also he kind of liked her voice. Just little dot, not that he would say that out loud, dot not, while she was wearing practically nothing and claiming he was her cosmic fiancé, holstered the blaster. But reluctantly, we need to move, this place isn't safe. Safe. Zyra rose fully, standing gracefully despite the heat. You saved me. My life is now yours. That is not how saving works. It is how it works for my species. Well, it's not how it works for mine. Zyra frowned. Your social rituals are complicated, says the woman who declares marriage after someone lends her oxygen. Life air sharing is intimate. It wasn't intimate. You were dying. You pressed your mouth to mine. That was CPR. CPR. She blinked innocently. Is that what humans call foreplay? Kade choked on his own spit. You didn't tit, wasn't we weren't. Her smile turned wicked. Then why did you hold me so tightly? Gravity, he shouted. I was preventing your head from hitting the sand. Preventing injury is a sign of care. Well, okay. That part is true, but you admit you care, she said softly. Kade slapped a hand over his face. He needed backup. He needed a drink. He needed a manual titled, How Not to Accidentally Marry a Gorgeous Alien in the Desert. Zyra moved again to gracefully circling him like she was studying a mysterious new creature. Her eyes traveled openly, boldly over his armored chest, his arms, his jaw. You are quite strong for a human, she said. You're quite distracting for someone who nearly died 5 minutes ago. She beamed. You think I'm attractive? Never said that. You thought it. Stop reading my thoughts. I'm not. She tapped her temple. Your face is simply very expressive. Kade cursed his expressive face. He stood, brushing the sand off his knees. Look, Zyra, we need to get to my base. There's shelter, food, water, and mating chambers. He stared at her. No, he said flatly, just normal chambers. I see, she said, though she definitely did in single quotes. T. Dot. She brushed imaginary dust off her shoulder. Her movements soft and sensual. Before we go, you should know something. What now? Kade muttered. My people will be looking for me. That's good, he said. They can help get you home. No, Zyra replied calmly. They will come to claim you, too. He froze. Why me? You breathed life air into a lunar housemaiden. Her expression turned solemn, serious, almost reverent, which means you have triggered an ancient contract. What contract? She reached out, fingers brushing his wrist. Lightly, the soul bond edict. Her voice dropped to a whisper. You are now my chosen mate, by interstellar law. Kade's brain exploded into static. His stomach dropped like a faulty escape pod. His vision wobbled. Oh hell no. Zyra stepped closer again. Hell yes. No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. But it is, she insisted. Lady, I barely know you. You have breathed into my lungs. That is not romantic. It is extremely romantic. It is medical. It is mating. Kade groaned loudly. I swear the universe is trolling me. Zyra tilted her head. Trolling. Never mind. The wind howled across the canyon, swirling sand around their legs. Distant ruins stood silent and ancient, watching like stone witnesses to the cosmic misunderstanding unraveling between them. Zyra lifted her chin. You saved me. You touched me. You shared your air. The universe accepts this bond. Well, I don't accept it. She smiled slyly. You will. No, I won't. Yes, you will. I said. She stepped so close, their shadows merged. Human, you are mine. Kade felt his pulse slam into his throat. Then a distant rumble echoed across the dunes. Zyra stiffened. They're coming. Who? She swallowed. My people, to congratulate us. To collect you, she said. Kade's face drained. Collect me. For the ceremony? Oh hell, for the binding. Nope, for the consummation. Kade's soul momentarily left his body. We just met. My people move quickly. This is not a good time. Zyra grabbed his wrist tightly. You must choose. Human, run with me or be taken. The ground trembled again. The desert hummed with incoming energy. Kade had approximately 3 seconds to decide, and all he could think was, what kind of insane cosmic Tinder swipe did I just match with? Sand blasted around them in swirling red clouds as the distant tremors grew louder, heavier, like the desert itself had started to walk. Kade yanked his wrist out of Zyra's grip. Okay, hold up before anything else tries to abduct me in the name of cosmic marriage. You need to explain what the hell is going on. No time. Zyra spun toward the canyon's jagged mouth. If my house guards arrive, they will assume you're already prepared. For what? For the union ritual. Kade threw his hands up. I don't even know what that means, but every part of my instincts says no to. Zyra inhaled slowly. It begins with both partners being. He put a hand up. Stop. Don't finish that sentence. Naked. She finished anyway. Fantastic. Great. Perfect. Kade muttered. Exactly what I needed today. An alien honeymoon gone wrong. Zyra blinked at him. Is this not a typical bonding day for humans? Zyra, the average human bonding day involves pancakes, awkward eye contact, and maybe a movie. Ah, she said thoughtfully. Foreplay rituals. That's not. The tremor became a thunderous pulse, shaking grit loose from the canyon walls. Kade's instincts screamed run, but Zyra clutched his arm again. You must trust me. Trust is earned, he snapped, not forced with cosmic marriage paperwork. You gave me life air, Zyra insisted. You already trust me. That was CPR. He groaned. Not a lifelong commitment. She tilted her head innocently. What is the difference? He nearly screamed. A flare of blue light cracked across the distant dunes, bright, sharp, unmistakably alien. Kade swore. Okay, we're moving. Pick a direction that doesn't lead directly into your family's arms. Zyra grabbed his hand, tugging him toward the deeper canyon shadows. This way. He sprinted beside her, armor rattling, lungs burning. Zyra, despite just nearly dying, moved like she'd been crafted to outrun galaxies. Her hair streamed behind her, illuminating faintly in the dying sunlight like dark nebula silk. You doing okay? He asked between breaths. I am strengthened by proximity to my chosen mate. Yeah, well, I'm strengthened by adrenaline and bad decisions. That will do. They darted into a narrow passage between towering stone columns carved by centuries of wind. The temperature dropped instantly, shadows swallowing them whole. Kade pressed his back against the stone, panting, listening. The air vibrated with alien engines overhead. Deep, melodic hums, the kind no human-made machine ever produced. Zyra placed a glowing hand against the wall. Her skin pulsed faint lavender. They are close. Too close. Okay, Kade whispered. Then tell me the truth. Why do they want me? What exactly does this soul bond edict make me responsible for? Is it like marriage, servitude, babysitting the universe? Zyra bit her lip, nervous. It was the first sign she wasn't entirely fearless. It means, she said softly, that our lives have merged. Where you go, I go. If one of us dies, the other feels the echo of that death. Kade stared. That sounds like the worst couple's subscription plan I've ever heard. You mock it. I mock everything terrifying. It's how humans cope. Zyra stepped closer, voice jet. It is not a trap, Kade. Then why are we running? Because my house believes mating choices should be guided by tradition. They do not trust spontaneous bonds. And oxygen counts as spontaneous. For us, yes. Kade dragged a hand down his face. I swear, your species needs to invent dating apps. Zyra frowned. Like applications. You want paperwork? No, I want choices. She looked up at him, expression suddenly vulnerable. You regret saving me. What? No, you regret breathing for me. Zyra, that's not look. I'm just overwhelmed. Humans are emotional creatures. says the woman trying to cosmic handcuff me. Zyra's shoulders relaxed a little. You do not truly wish to leave me behind. Kade hesitated. A heartbeat ... then dashed quietly. No. Her eyes warmed. Then I am content. Does content mean stop getting me kidnapped? It means I will protect you. I thought I was the soldier. You are, Zyra whispered, brushing his hand lightly, but you are mine. The warmth of her touch shot through him, short-circuiting every rational thought he had left. He snatched his hand back, cheeks burning, even though the video was supposed to be faceless. We need to stay focused. Zyra inhaled sharply. They have landed. Kade peeked from the canyon edge. 3 tall figures in shimmering silver armor stepped onto the dunes, their helmets curved like crescent moons, faces hidden behind luminous visors. Blue sigils glowed down their suits, matching the flare he'd seen earlier. Alien knights. Zyra shrank back. The lunar sentinels. Great. Space in-laws with laser swords. What exactly happens? Kade whispered. If they catch us, they will bring us to the lunar hall for the ceremony. And the ceremony includes, her cheeks went faint lavender, a binding kiss, witnessed by the elders. That's not terrible. Then the sealing of the bodies. The what? Zyra blushed deeper. And, intertwining, an ancient ritual. Our species believes physical unity strengthens the soul. Kade stared. That sounds like an intergalactic sex marathon. That is an accurate translation. He covered his face again. I am absolutely not doing that with an audience. Then we must not be caught. He peeked again. One of the sentinels knelt, touching the sand. A glowing pattern spread across the ground like frost-mapping tracks. Their tracks. Zyra squeezed Kade's arm. We need to climb. He glanced up the steep canyon wall. I'm wearing 60 pounds of gear. I will help you. You're half my size. Half your size, she said. Not half your strength. Before he could ask, she lifted him. She lifted him. Armor, gear, weapons, everything. As if he weighed as much as a pillow. Kade let out a strangled noise. Zyra, what the? Hush, she said, hoisting him toward the narrow ledge above. You are very loud and adorable. Those things are not linked. She set him on the ledge effortlessly, then leaped up beside him. Kade stared. Okay, note to self, do not get into arm wrestling competitions with alien women. Zyra grabbed his hand again. This way. They climbed higher until the sentinels were specks below, but Kade's boots slipped on the loose rock. He stumbled and Zyra grabbed the front of his armor, pulling him flush against her. Their bodies collided. His face ended up inches from hers. Her breath brushed his lips. Her eyes softened. You nearly fell, she whispered. Yeah, he managed weakly. That happens. Her fingers remained curled in his armor, holding him close. Far too close. Your heartbeat is loud again. Because you're never mind. You find me attractive. Noisma, be shut up. Zyra smiled slowly. You will admit it eventually. He pushed a hand between them, trying to pry her off. Later, not now. We're being hunted, but we are safe for this moment. Zyra, her face hovered a breath from his. You saved my life, she whispered. You touched me gently. You risked yourself. My people would see this as proof of your devotion. It wasn't devotion, he stammered. It was basic decency. Humans, she murmured. You mix kindness with chaos so effortlessly. I'm starting to think your people mix everything with sex. Her smile turned mischievous. We mix many things with sex. It is efficient. He nearly choked. There is nothing efficient about what's happening right now. Zyra tilted her head. Would you prefer inefficiency? Slow bonding, gentle teasing gestures. Humans enjoy those. His brain short-circuited. Stop researching humans. I like learning about you. I am not a study guide. She leaned closer. You are fascinating. Kade's grip on the canyon wall tightened. Then a boom echoed below. Energy shards exploded through the canyon air. Zyra's eyes widened. They found the trail. We need to go, Kade said. I agree. She grabbed his wrist, pulling him toward a narrow tunnel carved by centuries of wind erosion. As they entered the darkness, Zyra whispered, Do not worry, Kade. I will keep you safe. That's my line. No, she said with gentle finality. You are my chosen. I protect what is mine. Kade felt something tighten in his chest. Fear, annoyance, maybe a dangerous spark of something else. He wasn't ready to unpack that. Not with space in-laws on their heels. But as they moved deeper into the glowing tunnel, Zyra's fingers laced into his lightly, hesitantly, almost as if she feared he'd pull away. Not this time, because despite everything she wasn't the danger. The danger was whatever she was running from, and he needed to know why. But he also knew one thing. Whatever this cosmic bond was, whatever insane tradition he'd accidentally triggered, he wasn't letting anyone take him or her without answers, even if it meant running into the stars themselves. The tunnel narrowed into a winding throat of stone, glowing faintly with bioluminescent dust that clung to the walls like stardust veins. Kade's boots thudded softly, while Zyra's steps hardly made a sound, like she floated, rather than walked. In the quiet, he could hear her breathing, steady and calm, while his own sounded like a malfunctioning vacuum cleaner. Are you sure this leads anywhere? He whispered. Yes, Zyra answered with absolute certainty. Unless it collapsed recently. Kade stumbled. Unless what? She shrugged lightly. These tunnels shift. The desert moves. The planet breathes. Nothing is permanent. That's not reassuring. It wasn't meant to be. Her honesty would have been refreshing if it didn't make him want to scream. They kept walking. The hum of the desert winds faded. The booming pulses from the sentinels grew quiet. All that remained were their footsteps, and the uncomfortable tension hovering between them like a third, sarcastic ghost. Zyra suddenly stopped. Kade nearly walked into her. What now? She turned to him, her eyes glowing in the dim. Your scent changed. Kade blinked. My scent? Yes, it spiked. That's called stress. No, she said thoughtfully. It smells more like arousal. I dash, what dash, no dash. Okay, no. We're not doing that conversation in a cave. Zyra's lips twitched in amusement. Humans embarrass so easily. I'm not embarrassed. He lied. I'm just processing. Processing that you find me desirable. Kade covered his face. Zyra, can you not? You prefer subtlety. I am learning. She leaned closer. Am I doing it correctly? He backed up until his shoulder hit stone. Oh, fantastic. Trapped between a rock and a seductive alien. This is how horror movies start. Zyra blinked innocently. Is seduction frightening for humans? Yes dash no dash. Sometimes dash depends. Dash, please stop asking questions like that. She reached out, brushing dust from his armor. You tremble. He swatted her hand away. I do not, and you are flushed. He groaned into his palms. This is torture. You saved my life, she whispered, much softer. You touched me with care. You held me when my lungs failed. These things mean much to my kind. Kade's heartbeat kicked hard. Anyone would have done the same. No, Zyra insisted. Many would have watched. The echo of her fear she'd survived, alone hit him like a punch. He lowered his hands. Zyra looked away, almost shy. You think everything I say is flirtation, isn't it? No, she said. Some of it is gratitude. A silence stretched, gentler this time. Then the ground trembled lightly. Kade stiffened. They're tracking us again. No, Zyra said, after a beat. This is different. A low guttural rumble rolled through the tunnel, like the growl of a sleeping titan. Kade froze. Please tell me that was your stomach. I do not produce stomach noise. Of course you don't. The rumble came again closer. What lives down here? Kade whispered. Many things. That is not a comforting answer. I am not trying to comfort you. I've noticed. She tugged his wrist. Come, we must be quick. They hurried deeper until the tunnel widened into a vast subterranean chamber lit by crystalline formations that glowed from within like someone had shoved galaxies into quartz. Kade stopped in awe. This is beautiful. Zyra smiled softly. My people call this place the Lunar Heart. He walked forward, mesmerized. Then, a shadow shifted at the far end. A sound, like 1,000 bones grinding, echoed. Kade's hand flew to his pistol. Zyra, yes. What is that? A creature the size of a shuttle crawled into view. 6 legs, armored plates, 5 glowing red eyes, and mandibles big enough to snap him in half. Zyra tilted her head. A sand devourer. It looks hungry. They are always hungry. Does it eat humans? It eats everything. Okay, cool. I'm leaving. But the creature was faster than running. It charged with a screeching roar that sent tremors through the chamber. Kade aimed and fired 3 consecutive shots, each ricocheting off the creature's armor like he'd thrown pebbles. Fantastic, he yelled. My bullets are useless. Zyra grabbed his arm. Your weapon is too weak. Tell that to the armory budget. The devourer lunged. Zyra shoved Kade sideways, sending him rolling across the sand. She leaped onto the creature's back with inhuman grace, her hands glowing bright lavender. Hey, Kade yelled. What are you doing? Distracting it? That's not a strategy. It is working. The devourer bucked violently, slamming Zyra into a stone pillar. Kade sprinted forward before he could stop himself, before logic could yank him back. He dove onto the creature's head, jamming his pistol between 2 plates and pulling the trigger until the weapon clicked empty. The creature shrieked, thrashing wildly. Zyra grabbed Kade's waist, dragging him down before the devourer smashed its skull against the cavern ceiling. They rolled across the sand, landing in a tangled heap. Kade groaned. Did we kill it? The creature staggered, swayed, then collapsed with a seismic thud. Yes, Zyra said breathlessly. We did. He wheezed. I'm pretty sure all I did was annoy it. That helped. She was still clutching him to tight, her chest rising and falling against his. Kade, she whispered shakily. You risked your life again. Yeah, well, he muttered. Seems to be a pattern today. Her face softened with this strange mix of awe and affection. You could have let it take me, because I'm not a monster. No, she said, fingertips brushing his cheek. You are something rare. Kade swallowed hard. Her touch burned through him. This close. He could see faint glowing patterns along her skin, like star maps inked under her flesh. He'd been too busy panicking before to notice. Your markings, he whispered. She hesitated. They appear when I am near someone when I feel strongly. Strongly how? Zyra didn't answer. Not with words. Instead, she leaned in slow, deliberate, breath warm against his mouth. Kade froze, his heart hammered. The world shrank to her lips, inches from his. Then a piercing boom shook the cavern. The crystalline walls flickered. Zyra jerked back, eyes wide. They found us. Of course they did. Kade groaned. Right when things were getting complicated. You wanted things to be complicated? She asked, cheeks warming. Double quotes. No. Yes, maybe. Not the point. Their moment evaporated as brilliant blue light flooded the cavern. 3 lunar sentinels appeared at the entrance, cloaked in shimmering radiance. The lead sentinel spoke, voice metallic and cold. Zyra, of the lunar house, you will come with us, and the human will join you for the binding. Zyra stepped protectively in front of Kade. No, he is not ready. Kade whispered, understatement of the century. The sentinel ignored him. By ancient law, the bond must be completed. Zyra squared her shoulders. Not by force, by fate. The sentinel corrected. You sealed the union when you took his breath. Kade snapped. That was CPR. The sentinels turned their glowing visors toward him. The leader spoke again. Human soldier, you have initiated a sacred rite of our people. You breathed life into our daughter. You shared oxygen your essence. Kade rubbed his temples. I swear, I'm going to write a book titled Accidental Alien Marriage for Dummies. Zyra grabbed his hand, squeezing a silent plea. Kade looked at her. At the warriors. At the dead bug beast behind them. Well, he muttered. I guess running didn't work. Zyra whispered, there is one more path. He blinked. What path? She laced her fingers between his trust. Before he could answer, she pulled him toward a shimmering fracture in the cavern wall, almost invisible. Like a crack in reality. Kade, she breathed. Hold on to me. I am holding light. Swallowed them. The sentinels shouted. The chamber shook. The world inverted. Then everything vanished. Darkness. Silence. And her hand still gripping his. The last thing Kade felt was Zyra pressing close, whispering into his ear. Where you go, I go. The lights went dark. Not the dramatic kind, no. This was the Kade tripped on something again, kind. A floating lamp bumped gently against his forehead as the ship's gravity flickered off for the 3rd time that evening. Kade rotated helplessly, like an idiot-shaped satellite, while Zyra hovered gracefully beside him, arms crossed, looking like an angry, glowing nebula. Earthmale, she said flatly, your ship is having an emotional breakdown. Much like you, it's not my fault, Kade protested while spinning upside down. This thing was held together by hope and duct tape when I bought it. Zyra drifted closer, stopping his rotation with a fingertip to his forehead. You are unbelievably fragile. It's almost cute. Kade blinked. Wait, was that a compliment? Yes. Do not let it go to your head. It already did. Earthmales, she sighed, dramatically. Suddenly, the gravity snapped back on. Zyra landed perfectly on her feet because of course she did while Kade plummeted face first into the couch with a sound suspiciously similar to oof please end me. Zyra slid next to him, leaning in with a wicked smile. You know, Kade, with gravity malfunctioning, this ship technically qualifies as a hazardous environment. You may require close supervision. Kade blinked. So you're saying, I need a babysitter. More like, she tapped his chest, a partner who knows how to keep you alive. Preferably one who enjoys watching you struggle. That sounds suspiciously like flirting. That is flirting. Kade stared at her. Zyra stared back. The tension thickened, then snapped when the ship blared a warning. Engine temperature, critical stop, flirting, and fix me. Zyra groaned. Your ship is jealous. It's not jealous, Kade said, opening the access panel. It's just OW. A bolt shot off and smacked him in the forehead. Zyra did not even pretend not to laugh. Oh yes, she said sweetly, I definitely need to supervise you. She moved behind him, guiding his hands on the controls. Her voice dropped, teasing and low. See? When you stop panicking, your hands become competent. Kade swallowed. That's the sexiest thing anyone's ever said to me. Zyra smirked. Oh, Earthmale, I haven't even started yet. The machine hummed back to life. The lights steadied, the engine purred, and Kade. He was pretty sure his brain had stopped functioning, for reasons that had nothing to do with electricity. Zyra floated back because yes, gravity flickered again and pointed 2 fingers at his eyes. Then at him. Do not die, she warned. I just decided I like you. Kade grinned, like an idiot. Deal. The ship lights dimmed to a warm gloromantic by accident and Zyra pretended not to notice she was blushing purple. The ship was finally calm. The alarms silent, the engine steady, the universe quiet, which naturally meant Kade immediately ruined the moment by saying, so, does liking me come with benefits? Zyra didn't look up from the star map, she just slowly raised an eyebrow like a queen judging a peasant. Benefits? Are you asking for a galactic dating package? Maybe, Kade shrugged, trying very hard to look confident and failing spectacularly. Just checking if my health insurance now covers alien affection. Oh, it does, Zyra purred, but it has a high deductible. Paid in embarrassment, Kade opened his mouth, but then the lights flickered again. He groaned. I swear, this ship hates romance. Zyra drifted toward him, each step intentional, predatory, and way too attractive for Kade's neurological stability. It is not the ship, she said softly. It's you. You panic every time I get closer. That is a lie. Kade lied boldly as she closed the last meter between them. Zyra placed a hand on his chest, not roughly, not teasing, just deliberate. You have survived explosive gravity shifts, electrical surges, a jealous AI, and your own incompetence. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Do you think you can survive one kiss? Kade swallowed so loudly it echoed. Statistically, maybe. Zyra leaned in. The ship dimmed the lights automatically. For once, not out of malfunctions, just pure cosmic mood. Their foreheads brushed. Kade whispered, is this happening? Zyra smirked. Yes. Do not faint. I would never. She kissed him before he could finish. It wasn't gentle. It wasn't polite. It was Zyra. Fierce. Electric and absolutely certain. And Kade poor, flustered. And over his head Kade kissed her back like it was the first thing in the galaxy he'd ever done right. Somewhere behind them, the ship's core overloaded from emotional stress and blew a tiny fuse with a dramatic pop. Zyra pulled away without looking back. Your ship fainted. Yeah, Kade said breathlessly. Me too, internally. She cupped his cheek, her smile softening into something real. Something honest, something that made Kade's knees forget what knees were supposed to do. Earth male, she murmured. You are chaos. Pure chaos. And you're everything else, he said, surprising even himself. Zyra blinked. For once, she looked caught off guard. Then she laughed a rare, musical, thoroughly dangerous sound. Then perhaps, she said, pressing her forehead to his, we keep traveling together. You create the chaos, and I'll keep you alive. Kade grinned. Deal. They kissed again and the ship shut itself down completely, rolling its metaphorical eye sand, declaring, I will reboot when you two stop being disgusting. But they didn't stop. Not for a long time.